Oh shit, didn't see you guys there. What's poppin'? It's your boy Riley from Blamwagon. I was just admiring my vinyl wall behind me. Why, you may ask? Just bought 16 new vinyls. Gonna go through them with you today. A little bit of a vinyl update, trying something new for the channel. You guys happen to really like my last vinyl collection video. Check it out here. And luckily for all of you, I am hopelessly addicted to spending copious amounts of my hard-earned money on vinyls. I have 16 brand new vinyls. You guys have not seen them yet. Gonna run through them all in this very video. As with the last video, some of these records I'm gonna have a lot to talk about. Some of them, very little. We're just gonna go with the flow. And that's pretty much it. Let's just roll right into it. Why cry when you stand at the side? First, we've got the new Fontaines D.C record, Romance. This thing did not make my top albums of 2024, but this is an incredibly fun listen. I was unfamiliar with this group. I have not heard their last record. Supposedly that one is also equally critically acclaimed. But this was just a record that I really enjoyed that came out of last year. Even if it wasn't anything that like blew me away, it was a record that I felt like I had to own just for the vibes alone. This thing isn't too crazy. We've got a little band picture on the inside, but what I really like about this thing is that it is pink. It's a pink record. Can't say that I owned one before this. I actually bought another pink vinyl. This is not the only pink vinyl that I've got in this new collection, but Starburster was one of my favorite tracks to come out of last year, so honestly owning this for that single alone is worth it to me. Next, I've got How I'm Feeling Now by Charli XCX. Brat was getting a whole lot of love last summer, obviously, and undoubtedly so. Talked about it already. It deserves all the flowers that it received, but How I'm Feeling Now is absolutely my favorite record of hers. Don't think I've had a chance to talk about this record on the channel yet, but this is like one of the greatest hyperpop records of all time. It really put the genre on the map and made it a little bit more accessible to a mainstream audience, in my opinion. Sort of just an iconic 2020 lockdown record. Very cool little collage on the inside. I'm rocking with the packaging in general. I think that this has some of her best material, like Forever, Claws, Detonate, and Party For You, which in my opinion is her best song. I love Brat, huge Brat fan, but like that record really just scratches an itch in my brain. And it just has a little bit of a leg up over that record. And it's just something that I had to own. It's not one that I spin a whole lot because like you have to be in a very specific type of mood to listen to that kind of music, but banger after banger after banger, front to back. All right, next I bought Minecraft Volume Alpha by C418. Can't say that I really play this game much at all anymore, but when I was a kid, I was hopelessly addicted to this thing. And the music is just incredibly nostalgia to me, as I think a lot of people around my age can agree. It's also a very pretty green color, which I think is pretty sick and pretty fitting. This is a great one to throw on if I'm just trying to relax. It's all instrumental music. There are a couple tracks on here that like do not bump in the whip, but that was kind of expected. Bought this one in the same checkout as How I'm Feeling Now, which I think is a hilarious contrast. Next, How to Do It, Magdalena Bay, Imaginal disc, one of my favorite records to come out of last year. When I saw that my local record store had this thing in stock, I had to buy it. It's one of the greatest synth pop records of all time. The packaging is transcendent, strange, imaginal. I mean, this is absolutely bonkers crazy. I don't really know how else to describe this. It's nothing insane on the inside. It's just a standard black 2 LP, but this thing sounds great. Sounds great in the car, on headphones, on the turntable, you name it. Don't think that there's really a miss on this thing. I've talked about it in length in some of my other videos. If you want to see me talk more about it, check those out. But yeah, glad that I could complete the Magdalena Bay collection. There's only 2 at the moment, but hoping that it grows in the near future. And that brings us to Chromakopia by Tyler, the Creator. This thing is actually a test pressing, which I think is pretty cool. It actually drastically differs from the official release. There are reworked verses, there are added features. The track Balloon featuring Doechii is completely missing from this version. It also includes a track that was not on the official release. This is another green record, pretty fitting for the aesthetics of the album. A pretty dope thing to own. This was part of a pre-order exclusive. It's individually numbered. I got 70,048, so not much to write home about, not all that impressive, but it's still kind of a novelty item. And yeah, this made my year-end list. It's a banger. It's kind of cool to own something that is different from what I'm used to, so cool find. Next, y'all knew this was coming. I got Smile, Porter Robinson, my album of the year. This thing is front to back, just pure bliss. Truly tragic backstory regarding the shipment of this specific vinyl. Pre-ordered this long before the album even released, a couple months ahead. It was delayed over and over and over and over. Finally received it months after the album officially released on streaming, only to find that there was a fat dent right in the middle of the record. Vinyl was shattered. Got a refund, but I went out to my local record store and just picked up a copy myself. So it ended up being fine, but that was upsetting. Not Porter's fault, obviously. That was entirely on UPS. Fuck those guys. But another pink vinyl. Just loving the aesthetic of this album, not only in its packaging, but also just in terms of the concert visuals and the music videos and the social media marketing campaigns. Everything about this is just so sick. Love every second of it. Something I had to own. And that's that. And within the same trip to that record store on that eventful day, I picked up Cody by Joyce Manor. This was a bit of an impulse purchase because I don't really listen to this all that often, but I was sad, so I just grabbed it. Comes with a little poster, which I'm not going to open because that would take me far too long to put back in. Really just got this for Stairs. I love that track. It's a modern pop punk banger. But yeah, I mean, it's just like a fun little record to own. It's really short. It's like 28 minutes long or something. And there's a hidden Phoebe Bridgers feature, which is cute. Next, I got Caroline Polachek's Pang. This is a banger. Talked about it pretty recently, listened to it for the first time and went out immediately and grabbed it on vinyl. I think that this is her best project to date. Desire I Want to Turn Into You is just as fantastic, but I just resonate with this kind of music more. Rocking with a little gold vinyl action. Can't say that I own another record that is this shade of gold. It's just great. It's a masterclass in pop. If you are a fan of that genre, check it out. Caroline's a fantastic vocalist. And yeah, this is just a fun listen. If you want to dance and if you want to cry, it's throw it on. It works for all occasions. Next, I've got Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii. Doechii's on the come up. I think that she is a fantastic lyricist and performer, and I'm glad that she's finally getting her flowers. A close friend of mine picked this up for me for Christmas. It's got a cool little kind of moss green transparent vinyl. I'm rocking with it. It's not a perfect record. There's quite a lot of filler, but there are a lot of ideas on here, some of which land successfully. And I think if nothing else, this record just shows an overwhelming amount of potential for Doechii moving forward. I think that once she finally releases a full-length LP, we might have a banger on our hands. And yeah, just cool thing to own. Awesome gift. This is a big one. Next, we've got Run the Jewels 2 by Run the Jewels. For those of you that don't know, this is one of my few 10 out of 10s. I think that this is a perfect record. It's my favorite hip hop record of all time. Picked this guy up for the 10th anniversary. This is a limited edition anniversary release. All of the music is the same with the inclusion of Blockbuster Night Part 2, which I believe is now on streaming, actually. I can't believe that it took me this long to actually pick this up. It was a little bit hard to find for quite a while. Pretty cool packaging indeed. It's got interchangeable hands and fists. LP's production on this thing is all killer, no filler. Killer Mike comes through with bar after bar after bar. One of the most cutthroat and powerful political hip-hop records I've ever had the pleasure of listening to. Really hoping that these guys make a return this year. We need Run the Jewels 5, please. And yeah, one of the best of all time. Next, I picked up Patience by Mannequin Pussy. Huge Mannequin Pussy fan. I loved I Got Heaven from last year. I had the pleasure of seeing them live in October. Some of the greatest live performers that I've ever had the pleasure of seeing. These guys absolutely killed it. Had to pick Patience up. It's a short one. It's not too crazy, but it's just like a perfect blend of indie rock and punk. Drunk 2 is one of my favorite songs of all time. I'm so thankful that I was able to see that live. But Patience, Cream, Who You Are, and Clams are all equally fantastic. And it's kind of just an iconic album cover. I love the imagery. It's nothing insane, it's a 1 LP. No poster or anything, just an internal sleeve. But an easy one to throw in and just listen to. It's pretty short, it's not like a time dedication. And yeah, good shade of pink. Not much else to say about it. Next, I picked up Daft Punk's Random Access Memories. Haven't actually gotten a chance to spin this one yet. I should probably do that. I've obviously heard it. It's one of my favorite records of all time. It's a beast of a record. It's very heavy. Feels very classic, which is pretty cool. I'm rocking with the way that this thing is looking. I don't have much to say about this. This sort of feels like a record that everyone should own or at least listen to. It's kind of like a staple in vinyl collection, I feel. Instant Crush, Lose Yourself to Dance, Get Lucky, all bangers. Contact, absolute banger. Love this record, don't have much to say about it. Just felt like something that I had to own. All right, next, and this is a weird one. I was at a novelty shop and ran into the Silent Hill soundtrack. This is the first one, the PlayStation 1 game. I've actually never played it before, but as a fan of Silent Hill, I felt like this was a fun thing to own. I'd show you the inside, but there are boobs in there. And I don't want to get blacklisted from YouTube. So, pretty weird stuff, blood red vinyl. Not gonna lie, wasn't really sure what to expect from this thing. I've listened to the Silent Hill 2 soundtrack, and that's one of my favorites of all time, so I figured that this would be more of the same stuff, but it's kind of just industrial metal noises. I still haven't listened to the whole thing. It is a very abrasive listen, and I don't want to freak my neighbors out, but a cool thing to own. Thought that it was kind of just like a silly novelty thing to find. And purchasing that inspired me to finally bite the bullet and order the Silent Hill 2 vinyl. For those of you that don't know, I started collecting vinyls a little over 4 years ago, and this has always been one of my holy grails. I've talked about this thing on the channel before. It's one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time, if not the greatest. It blends trip hop, dark ambience, and horrorcore in such an elegant and captivating way. I'm absolutely loving this. I'm so glad that I picked this up. It comes with 2 LPs, 1 Blood, and 1 Fog, which is cool. It's a very grimy aesthetic, but like you'd expect that from a Silent Hill 2 vinyl. So yeah, I'm over the moon about this. Very glad that I just bit the bullet and bought it. It's also got the little dog on the back, if you know, you know. And we're nearing the end. I've only got 2 records left to show you guys. First being Brat by Charli XCX. This one's kind of tragic. It came with a sticker seal. Never saw one of those before. Tried to peel it and ripped the shit out of the front, which is kind of annoying, but I feel like that's kind of Brat aesthetic. I normally get so many comments being like, why did you rip the sticker? Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up, dude. Came with a little lyric book, pretty standard stuff. The design in the lyrics is pretty unique, which is pretty cool. Also comes with this little credits pamphlet, which is pretty cool. Nothing too crazy about the record itself. It's slightly transparent black, which is kind of fun. Haven't gotten a chance to listen to this on the turntable yet, but gonna spin it pretty soon. This is a great record that came out last year, made the year-end list. And yeah, I mean, like if you don't know what this is, you've been living under a rock. Like I don't have to tell you that Brat's good. We all know that it's good. And yeah, dope shit. And last but not least, we've got Outcast Stankonia, a classic. One of the most explosive and dynamic hip-hop records to release in the 2000s. Definitely one of my favorite hip-hop records of all time. It's another one that I'm like surprised that I haven't owned up until now. Every single time I'm at the record store, I eye it up and down and I'm like, is today the day? And then I always don't do it. And so the other day I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get it, why not? And I'm glad I did, because this is such a great record. If you haven't heard it before, what are you doing? Spin it. Gasoline Dream, So Fresh, So Clean, Miss Jackson, B.O.B., all absolute classics. And honestly, just like an essential record to own for any hip hop fan. And that's it, y'all. That's all the albums that I bought within the past couple of months. If you guys enjoyed this video, I might make it a recurring series. I'll showcase like every 15 records that I buy. Blamwagon is hitting the ground running in the year of 2025. We're gonna be doing some crazy, crazy shit. More monthly recap videos, more brackets, more tier lists, and maybe something special here and there. As always, if you like what you saw, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a share, subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. And if anybody wants to talk me down from buying any more records, please do. This is a cry for help. I'm going bankrupt. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more stuff. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. That's it.
Fuck.